Are we going to do a strength exercise that I'm actually good at?
The one you're actually good at?
Hi folks, and welcome back to Run for Adventure, or welcome to Run for Adventure if you haven't watched the channel before. I just wanted to give a quick intro really to the next film, mainly to say a really massive thank you to someone. As you can see guys, we've got this mega new intro to the channel. That's who the thank you's for really. I spent an evening a few weeks ago with Christiaan from No Limits Photography. He brought all his toys and all his gadgets along to the Cornish coast path, and he got some stunning footage as you can see in the intro, and he put that intro together for the channel. So just wanted to say really a massive thank you Christiaan. Awesome job, we love that new intro. If any of you guys were thinking about getting in touch with No Limits Photography, we've left a description. No, we haven't left a description, but we've left a link in the description. So yeah, if you want to get in touch with Christiaan from No Limits, there's a link in the description. Like I said, he's a great guy. He really knows what he's doing. He's just come back from Lakeland 100 and Lakeland 50 as the official photographer. So he's up there with the best of them. So if you want to get in touch, there's a link in the description. So guys and gals, here's part 2 of my strength and conditioning for UTMB. If you haven't seen part 1, by all means go back and watch it. You don't want to miss out. If you like what you see, or if you want to comment on what you've seen, leave any comments below. Obviously hit that like button, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks guys, and I hope you enjoy the video.
So you're into that position there, you're thinking your weight's grounded there, you've got this foot on a variable height block, start low and work up, and then you're going to lift the knee as high as you can before you feel like your back starts to round into it at all. Hold at the end for 3 or 4 seconds, slowly put the foot back down again, and then pick up again. Stay tall, don't let the other knee bend. Try not to have that knee kind of fall down. And all we do is build it up. So as you get a little better, try the other leg, you go a little higher. So that ideally, it's wasted effort. Any lifting, it's not like just straight to your limit. So you might as well do it off something relatively high, but keep the quality good, keep it a pure hip bending motion. And it's one of those ones, for some people they do this and it's easy. You do it and it seems really hard, really effortful, your leg is dead heavy in that position. But it's all about that, it's finding the easy exercise that you suck at. If you can find that, strength training will work faster for you. That's
Are we going to do a strength exercise that I'm actually good at?
The one you're actually good at? Okay. Just find it.
Can we do that one?
That's something you're good at. But think about how you would minimise the effort that the band's putting on when you do it on 2 legs. And it's about kind of keeping your balance over your foot.
We'll try the strong leg.
Yeah, so you're going to go on to it. So you get into this position, you've got a band that's attached to something solid, folks. Stand on one leg, skull fractures are painful. And then he's going to drop down, he's going to sit onto the step behind him so he knows he's got a little rest in the middle. He's going to keep that foot off the floor and he's going to stand back up again. Using as little pull through the band as possible.
I need quite a lot.
And so it's about front of your leg strength through its whole range of motion. Now when you're running on flat, you're only using a tiny bit. That's what changes on the hills and the steps. Suddenly that hip's got to work through this great big range of motion. So if this movement is hard for you in the gym, then the stairs will be hard for you on the trail.
So I can get away with the flat stuff.
Without
a doubt it is.
It's completely different. This is climbing is a lot of muscle activity. You need strong muscle. You do not need them for running on flat ground. Good. Technique's getting better. So think shoulders forward as you pull. So a little elbow pump to get it going. Yeah. but don't lean back on the way through.
Let's have another go.
They're just weird, aren't they?
Yeah. Just kind of, I need, really struggle to get out of that.
But it's an easy movement you find difficult, and that's why it's so important that you work on it, and that you don't let it do that thing where you kind of want to walk away from it.
No.
So let's just do a couple more. And what I want you to think about this time is that you're going to try not to slouch into it too much. So try and kind of keep your head up and not use too much back rounding as you do it.
Okay. Go the other leg.
Yep. That's so different. You need the seat in a different place. Better. So your back, your shoulders are never behind your hips, yeah?
Yeah.
Because if you get rid of the band and the chair, you'll never do it like that.
Yeah. No, it felt so much different when I'm concentrating on
that.
keeping.
It's all about that, finding that little sentence to play in your head when you're doing each exercise that tells you how to get good technique. Okay?
Wowzers. Yeah.
And then one day, right, go on, give me one chance to shine. And one day that will turn into full pistol squat. So you can take away all the equipment. I'm only good at like one thing in the world. Then what we're looking for is we should be able to get through that range of motion without using anything else other than the muscles in our legs. Boom.
Very impressive.
We're doing the plain one.
Yeah.
So you're going to get the weight to start with.
Yep.
You're going to stand on, so if you're set up there, so you've got your foot's down on your stick side and your other hand's there. So this is reverse deadlift. We're using a stick mobility stick to take balance out the equation, and that's going to allow you to spend a lot more time doing the exercise instead of time wobbling and falling over. So don't take it too far out to the side, bring that back there. You're going to move the front forward for security rather than the back, the thing outside. So from there, what he's looking for is this hinging motion, so just do that for me. Push the stick forward, keep your elbows straight. So as he goes forward with the hand, he goes up at the back the same amount. So this free hip does not flex or extend during the movement. He's going to go to there, and then he's going to pull himself back to upright. Use the stick to balance on the way out, but try not to use it to recover on the way back up.
Yeah.
So the main strength shift is on the way up. So you're going to get that right down into that position there, as low as you can, as horizontal through this shoulder, back and free leg, and then back upright as you're able to do. Oh, he's getting tired. Okay, let's be nice.
Yep.
Like even a couple done really well, and
It's
don't
alright,
obsess
I've got
about reps.
I've got a light up.
You've got a little bit. So then we're going to use the stick then as a balancer, right? So it's just a place to stand and something to add an extra point of balance. Yeah. It's a hip hinge pattern, minimal knee bend, trying to keep my back nice and straight and make my arm, this back hip pops out behind, so I never ever bend that hip, I always keep it in full extension, and that's the position I want to be able to reach out into and come back up from there. So we've been working on a loaded version of that, where there is a weight in the opposite hand to give the hamstring of the standing leg a little bit more work to do. So it's to here. What we don't want to do is let that shoulder drop. We want to keep it nice and square on, heels reaching out behind to there, push into the stick, pull the weight back to upright again. Drive the stick down into the ground, rely on it for a little bit of your balance, and then take that top hip, that free hip, lift it high. Good, take it low. Stay in control, don't be too ambitious. We're better with a smaller range that we succeed on than a big range that we fail on.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if you have a little rest, I'll have a little go. So down into that position is hip flares. So I'm going to here, and then from that position there, I'm going to lift this hip to try and turn my whole pelvis as vertical as I can, face staying down towards the floor, and then back down there. So now the rotation is along the length of the spine as I flare out to the side there, really squeezing that glute, making that work, and then dropping back down again.
Go into the position first.
Yeah, push that top stick out the front. Lovely, perfect.
And
Okay,
go
now go stick left, foot right. Very good. Again, stick within what you can actually balance on. And that's what I've learned. That takes a little bit of time and practice to find out, okay, it's quite small, but if I sit there and just scissor around that movement, so just get this kind of like a compass needle spinning, and your standing leg is the center of that pin. One end goes one way as the other end goes the other way. Lovely. And what you get is time under load. And if you want to build strength, endurance, then time under load is a super critical factor. And it's what a lot of glutes exercises don't give us, is enough time in the stretch position.
Yeah.
And so that gives you it in bucket loads.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go into that same position again, and we're going to look at some movements while we're down there. So I'm going to think of this leg as being planted and like an axis to rotate around. So my first rotation is going to be stick one way, foot the other, and then I can do that back in the opposite direction. So I'm essentially rotating my fairly horizontal body around my fairly vertical leg. Lots and lots of kind of proprioceptive challenge, tons of time under load for this hip. I'm going to go straight from there into that position there. Spot the landing, try not to rely on the stick at the end. There again, start as low as you dare, take a moment, build up the power, and then explode through. And what we want is that fast hip. So the knee drive is quick, but so is the hip extension of the leg we're standing on. And as you finish, it's this feeling like you've really pulled this up as high off the floor as you can. So we then use that a little bit. The beginning of that movement we use in this hip hitch movement. So here, we're basically going to finish up really high in this position. It's the glute of the leg that I'm standing on that's working really hard. Take it through its full range from here right through knee drive, hip hitch, hand reach to the sky. And what I'm going to do is then try and add speed to that movement. So I start here and make sure I've got my balance. So I'm there, and then I'm just going to try and explode straight through to the finish.
Perfect.
And back. So each time taking a moment to reset, and then working on speed of movement through the hip. Done?
Yeah.
Ready for UTMB?
Yeah. I think I will be.
You will be.
8 weeks of that.
8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's not long, is it?
It is not long, but we can make big changes to your ability to recruit strength in those muscles. You maybe can't train, pure strength in that time, but you can get so much better at these activities. So much of what we're doing with runners is just showing their brains that their bodies are strong, rather than by building big muscles. Otherwise, the marathon record holders would have great big calves and great big quads, and they don't.
No.
But they know how to use the strength that they've got, and so that's probably where strength training really helps people. And like in particular, that sit-stand squat, like that's your Everest. That's the one you go your UTMB. That's the one you say, right, that's the easiest thing I'm really, really bad at. And if I could change that, I would take away that lowest hanging fruit on your kind of tree of movement, and that'll make more impact than anything else.
I think it's crazy how when you single out them exercises and how you can view the movement and see how important it is to running, and then how weak I am at them exercises.
So there's two things in that. There's individual tailorization, and there is sport specific. Like you see a lot of people who are doing roughly similar things, but they're doing a lot of two-footed exercises, doing lots of kettlebell squats, lots of deadlift, lots of front squats and back squats in a pursuit of strength. And it will make them stronger, but it won't help them run much, because you never run with 2 feet on the ground, and if you do, that's what's wrong with your running. So you've got to make it contextual, and then you've got to find that whole idea of, you'll be good at some things and bad at others. Don't practice what you're good at. The thing that all runners should do is spend some time strength training, because it's been shown 2 sessions of 20 minutes a week will reduce your chance of becoming injured from an overuse running injury by 50%. Like if that was a strap you wore or a thing you tied to your shoes, it'd be worth billions, but it's not.
And everybody would buy it.
And everyone would know about it. turning up for your conditioning work, your strength and loading exercises, that's what does make a difference, and hopefully that's what's going to make a difference this time around for UTMB.
So back in the car after the one-on-one session, obviously with Paul Coker. You've seen the exercises we did. You probably saw how quite pathetic and weak I am, but I really feel that, you know, this is going to make the difference this year. You know, as you can see, Paul's a great guy. He really knows his stuff. You know, we're going to be using some interesting equipment. Some of the stick mobility stuff I think is going to be really interesting, but it really did highlight how weak I am in certain areas. You know, I've been running a long time, doing lots of running, lots of mileage, lots of ultra distance races and endurance events, and I have really neglected the strength side of it. And I think, as you can see in that short clip of the exercises, that's clear to see. I'll be talking about kit and preparation for the race in other areas as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon, hopefully. Cheers.